that you want to receive from God, it is by grace through faith. Your relationship with Him is by grace through faith. Let us come boldly to the throne of grace. Let us come boldly to the throne of grace that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. The grace of God is always available for each and every person who comes to Him or who draws near to Him. And He says we must come boldly. We can only come or approach Him with boldness when we know that we are going to have an encounter with grace. When we know that what we are looking for, what we are believing Him for is sufficient, is there. It exists, and God is willing to make His grace work on our behalf. If we're not sure, we're still questioning ourselves, is it really God's will for me to be saved? Is it really God's will for me to be healed? Then we've not read the scriptures, we've not understood the scriptures. Because in Isaiah chapter, I believe it's chapter 53, it talks about healing. It says He was wounded, for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon Him. And by His stripes, we were healed. We are healed. In Isaiah, does it say we are healed or we were healed? We are. And in Matthew, in Peter, we were healed. You see? So it's in past tense. We were healed by the grace of God, because you and I didn't do anything to deserve healing. We didn't do anything to receive that healing, to be given that healing, to be healed. You understand? It was done for us by the grace of God. Amen. Paul says, by the grace of God, I am what I am. Our lives are defined by the grace of God. We all come from somewhere. We all have a history. But the most important thing is that now we have a present and we have a future with God. Those things that we experienced in the past don't determine who we have become today, what we can become today, and what we can become in the future. That is determined by the grace of God. What you are going to become or what you are now is by the grace of God, and it's determined by the grace of God if you receive it. Because the grace of God does not come into my life to just, give me an opportunity to do the things that I used to love, and do them better. That is not the grace of God. The grace of God comes into my life to make me what God wants me to be. And if I'm going to get to where God wants me to be, I need to receive that grace. I need to respond with faith to that grace. Over 2,000 years ago, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. John said we beheld His glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. God decided to take a human flesh, come into the world, suffer and die for the sins of humanity, make salvation available for every person that will ever come into the world. You see,